This is number 5 on the children's shirt pattern, and we're going to go ahead and sew and turn a loop. So I have a little rectangle or square here of muslin. Doesn't matter if it's a rectangle or a square, but I did rip all 4 edges. I pressed it, and then now I'm going to fold 2 edges back on top of each other, and I'm going to get my bias over here. Let's go ahead and take a ruler. And a pencil and a pen, or a pen, and you're going to draw your loop here. It's going to be about 1/4 of an inch wide, and you don't really know at this point how long, so you can just start like this. Make it a couple inches long, and then we'll figure it out. That's what we're going to sew. Do a little back stitch. Remove my pins. And finish with a little back stitch. Now, one thing I like to do when I make a loop is I actually like to sew the line 2 times so I don't crack the stitch while I'm turning it around. So, I'll sew that 2 times. There we go. Let me go ahead and trim my threads nice and close. And I have a nice little 1/4 inch tube. I'm going to cut off the end, and I'm going to trim that seam allowance down to about 1/8 of an inch away from the sewn edge. Cut off the end, and I have my prepared tube, so I can go ahead and turn it. This is what that tube looks like. This is going to be on bias. I'm going to be able to turn it completely around because this is the wrong side of the fabric. I'm going to take my loop turner to do that. So we're on the wrong side of the fabric, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut an angle, not all the way to the stitch, but very close to it. Then I'm going to take my loop turner, go ahead and put it on the right side of the fabric and go in, and I've opened the little mouth of the loop turner. We're going to go in, and we're going to go past where we cut, and now you can see we have the hook and we have the little piece that's going to close. We're going to pull back towards us. It's closed, and now we're going to pull the loop so we can see the right side of the loop. Open that little mouth, and we've got our loop. Don't worry about that end. You've made that plenty long, so you can cut it off if you'd like. Doesn't look very nice. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the 2 seams that we have for the loop. I'm going to put them together. And I'm going to go ahead and sew this loop together in the seam allowance area. Trim my threads. I can go ahead and neaten up those ends if I'd like to. Now that loop is prepared for measuring my button. That loop looks really good. I've got a button. It's clear. If this is a child's shirt, I thought a large, decorative, fun button would look good. And as I can see, as I slip the button through the loop, it's a little bit large, but this is how I'm sizing it. And I'm going to come in, it looks like about 3/8 of an inch, and give a stitch right there. let's go ahead, put this down 3/8 of an inch away from that stitch, and stitch this loop a little tighter. And we're just sizing the loop for the button. Trim those threads nice and close. Let's check that button again. Oh, that fits perfect. That's really nice. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the front of my shirt. This is just going to require one button and one loop. So I'm going to put this on the right side of the shirt. The correct side of fabric and the right side as opposed to the left side. So this blouse or shirt can cross right over left. I'm going to put it right in the middle of my front seam. Going to bring the prepared loop over to the center front. I have chosen the position for it. And I'm going to make sure that the loop is sticking out and not going in like this right now. Okay, the loop's got to stick out. And we just have a 1/4 inch seam allowance here, so move that stitch over there a little bit. You're going to put that stitch line 1/4 of an inch away from that edge. Okay, that looks good. There, that looks nice. You can always check yourself. Make sure that that is making a right angle coming out. Let's go ahead and give a little back stitch. Secure the loops to the front of the shirt. Go ahead and trim our threads nice and close. And we're going to next put the facing right on top. And then we'll, at the very end, we'll go ahead and sew that button on there. But there is our completed loop. And that is step number 5.